Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Hello and welcome to Primetime Local News. I'm Lane Hoffert. One of the candidates running in the upcoming Lloydminster municipal election is Fred Surrett, a longtime Lloydminster resident. Surrett has been active in the community for many years. He pastored churches in the Lloyd area and was the founding chairman for the Olive Tree. Surrett wants to help make Lloyd a safe and less expensive place to live in.
We're not going anywhere as a community when we have fear on our streets for our safety. That has to be dealt with. I'm concerned about the debt, as I've already said, and spending. That'll be a primary focus for me. And property rights. We have a land use bylaw before us now, and it's quite controversial. And I hope to keep us in the zoning laws that we have right now. I feel that they are our safeguard, and so I'm standing on that.
If elected, Surrett wants to use his position in council as a way to bring the people of Lloyd closer together.
Right and left seem to be further apart. Ever since COVID, we seem to have a tougher time keeping together as a community. And I just think that the council has to lead the way in that. We need to be respectful of all people, and we need to be respect people's right to make a living and to enjoy the fruits of their labor.
Another candidate running in the upcoming Lloydminster municipal general election is Sarah Christie, a lifelong Lloydminster resident. Christie worked as a registered nurse in Lloyd for 16 years until she decided to get into politics as a way to make the changes she wants to see in the community.
The world is you have to start locally, so you got to start at your local level. You got to start at the bottom and work your way up to the top. How you can affect change wherever you're at, that's where you start making a change, and then you just work up the hierarchy, the chain of command.
Christie's first goal, if elected, is to make taxpayers happy as a way to get them to care about the issues that Lloyd is facing.
Right now, taxpayers are jaded and they're so angry at the city. They don't want to help. We have a lot of crises going on right now, and the taxpayers normally, if they felt that they were cared for, they would care about these issues. But they're at the point where it's like, you got us into this mess, you get us out, I'm done with you, I'm mad at you, I'm not helping you.
The Lloydminster municipal election will take place tomorrow. The City of Lloydminster has been hard at work supporting their local nonprofits, with grants and tax exemptions going towards strengthening their operations. Callan Dunlop sat down with the Executive Director of Residence and Recovery to see how they are benefiting from the recent financial backing.
Today I'm joined by Tyler with Residence in Recovery, Executive Director of Residence in Recovery in Lloydminster. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me again.
And then we're here today to talk about some recent tax exemptions that you guys got. But before we get into that, can you guys explain, just to those who are unaware, what Residence in Recovery does for Lloydminster?
Sure. So we operate a few programs. Our individual sober living program used to be kind of our main program. It's what we started with back in 2018. Really got scaled back this year, earlier in the year. We still have 2 post-treatment sober living homes in Lloydminster. They're pretty low maintenance. And then we have our family treatment program, which pretty much is the majority of our focus these days. We have a capacity of 23 families. And it's a 9-month inpatient family sober living program for mothers that have children, mothers that struggle with addiction that have children, yeah.
And then we're here today to talk about the recent tax exemptions that you were approved for at City Council. And then I want to really just have you elaborate on what this means for the organization.
Sure. So we have a few properties in town. We have a 5-plex behind the old bus depot, and then the 7-plex, so the old Habitat for Humanity over by the youth center building. And then we also have the Healing Center, which is the old Harris House, and the bus depot as well, the old bus depot. So all of these properties are properties that we use for our family treatment program. So they're all tax exempt. through the city. Thanks to the city, they really support us with those. We own some of them. We're in the process of purchasing the bus depot as well, and that was one of the tax exemptions. And it just allows us the opportunity, to provide services for those less fortunate and struggling, and take some of that financial burden off of us for all of those properties. Yeah.
No, for sure. That is a great thing to hear from the city. I'd like to also talk about recently, prior to the tax exemptions, you were also approved for a community grant, which you guys received about $30,000.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about what that money is going towards for your operations?
Yeah, so that grant is through the FCSS community grant. So that goes to support our family treatment program, individuals or mothers that are struggling with addiction. It provides some of their day programming. As well, we do have a couple of the programs that are open to the public for mothers to attend if they want. We've had some mothers come in and participate in some of our basic programming as well. And then also, as part of that grant was the Ages and Stages questionnaire. It's a developmental assessment tool for children, so we can kind of assess and make sure that they're on track to meeting all of their developmental cues.
And then lastly, I just wanted to touch on what Residents in Recovery is kind of looking towards in the near future.
Yeah, so our family treatment program is exceptionally strong. It's been growing quickly, especially since we shut down the sober living. We're looking to add some more programs on that. We're working on a program with Pine Grove to support mothers in their third trimester getting out of incarceration and moving into the family treatment program. We're also looking at purchasing the old bus depot. We've been in it since 2021 or 22. It's our child care facility, and we're going through the process right now of having that license as a licensed daycare.
All right, perfect. Well, that covers all of the questions that I had for you today. I want to thank you for taking the time to come down to update us on everything that you guys have been doing.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
We'll have more primetime local news after the break. Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lloydminster is kicking off their holiday season with their Light of Lights fundraiser, which starts today. Abby St. John has more on how you can participate.
Big Brothers Big Sisters of Lloydminster is kicking off the holiday season with their Light of Lights fundraiser, which starts today. So I'm happy to be joined here today by Jacqueline Weed. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. Now, a little bit ago, we talked about the Light of Lights fundraiser, and that starts today. So for those who don't know what it is, what is the Light of Lights?
So it's actually part of our Ignite a Little Sparkle holiday campaign. And the light bulbs actually are part of Big Brothers Big Sisters of Saskatchewan fundraising in the holiday months. So what our idea is we have about 15 strands of lights that we've put up in our office, and we actually had a crew come on Friday from Synovus. The Synovus Cares team came and hung the lights for us. And then starting today until December 20th, any donation that's made to our agency will get at least one bulb on a strand of lights. So if you give us $5, you get your name, you get one bulb. If you give us $1,000, you get a strand of lights. And so anywhere in between there, because we appreciate all donations, you will get a bulb. Once we have a strand of lights that has a bulb on each one, then we plug that in and light the lights. So last year by the end, we had 15 strands lit up. I think they could see us like it's at Synergy over there. By the end of the day, when it was starting to get dark, I'm sure we glowed, but it's a pretty amazing fundraiser.
Yes, for sure. And I'm sure it looks absolutely beautiful once it's all lit up as well. And it just adds a little bit to the holiday spirit. Now, with these donations, what is this going towards for Big Brothers Big Sisters?
Yeah, so it's going, of course, to our supporting our mentoring programs. In any way, shape, or form that, we can support the matches, we can create matches, we can do the intakes for the families and the volunteers. So whatever's involved in supporting our mentoring program, that's where it goes. So any donation of $20 or more gets a tax receipt. But people, it's easy. People can donate in memory of somebody or as a gift for that person that has everything and you don't know what to get them. We can take a picture of the bulb and give it to you and you can wrap that up for them. You could do it as a family. Kids could make a donation themselves. Classrooms could do it, if they wanted to raise money. So any donation gets you at least one bulb.
Now, it does start today, and I know you mentioned the dates. Just to remind people, it starts today. When is it going till, and how can they donate? What are the ways that they can donate to you guys?
So they can donate until December 20th, because then we do the wrap up to shut down for the holidays. And they can call the office, they can message our Facebook page. Our mentoring development assistant, Alyssa, is sending out information to businesses so they can email her, and then people can pay by cash, check, or e-transfer, or if they want to stop in and see exactly what the bulbs look like and what 15 strands of lights looks like hung up in our office, they're welcome to stop by.
Wonderful. Well, this fundraiser is certainly unique. And like I said, it will be absolutely beautiful once all those strands are lit up. And it's just another fantastic way to give back to Big Brothers Big Sisters, but also spread the holiday spirit as well, as this is leading into the Christmas season and holiday season. So this is a fantastic way to give back. And I can't wait to see all the strands lit up. So thank you so much for joining me. And I wish you the best of luck for this year's Light of Lights.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Winter is coming and temperatures are starting to drop. Our Jackson Fontaine caught up with meteorologist Peter Quinlan to discuss the forecast for the next few months.
So I'm pleased to be joined with Peter Quinlan, who is a meteorologist from Global News. How are you doing today, Peter?
Good. How are you, Jackson?
I'm doing good, thank you. As we know, winter is coming and temperatures are going to start dropping. So Peter, what can we expect in the next few weeks for temperature-wise? Is it going to get nicer, or is it going to be kind of the same what we've been seeing?
So we've had some very warm conditions for this time of year. An average daytime high in Lloydminster is around -1. It looks like we'll finish this week above average and it will still stay quite nice. But as we get into next week, we're going to see some cooler conditions. Those daytime highs will flip below freezing and get closer to average, and even at times could be below average. So we are getting ready and kind of anticipating a cool down on the way in the coming week.
So it might get cold soon, it might not. It's just all kind of a waiting period. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, it will happen eventually, but it was bound to eventually move to and eventually below seasonal. So it's coming.
Can we expect much precipitation in the next few weeks?
Probably a little bit of wet snow potentially on Thursday of this week. Just a few centimeters at most. It's probably not going to be overly significant. The computer models are kind of keeping us in an overall dry trend, but there is the chance of a little brief bout of snow that could bring it up to 2 to 5 or 6 centimeters here and there. But at this point, it doesn't look like any major snow events for now into the foreseeable future, which is about 7 to 10 days. Beyond that, it's a little bit difficult to know.
Well, that's good news for people who don't have their winter tires on.
Yes, get on that.
When do you think we will receive the first significant snowfall of the year?
Good question. So at this point, we may see a few centimeters as mentioned on Thursday. I don't know if we would consider that significant. Not in the foreseeable future is my best answer. It's hard to know more than 7 to 10 days in advance with any degree of accuracy. So probably not in the middle of November, but potentially at the end of November or at some point in December. Usually we're due at some point before the end of December.
And is it looking like a lot of snow is coming in the next 2 months, or is it looking like we could potentially have a brown Christmas once again, which wouldn't please too many people?
Yeah, that's the one time of year people all different types seem to welcome snow, and it does look like there's a better chance at a white Christmas. The chance is pretty high in the Lloydminster area, so I anticipate we will get some snow, and temperatures will be cool enough to hold that snow either at some point later in November or into December, but it's not a guarantee yet. It does look like the overall weather pattern in winter, meteorological winter, is December, January, and February. Could end up being around or slightly snowier than normal, and temperatures around or slightly colder than normal as the overall trend.
And final question for you. What's the new year looking like? January, February? Is it still going to be super cold?
It is always cold at that time of year. Whether or not it's colder than normal, there's a decent chance. We're in a La Nina pattern this year, but it's a weak La Nina. So typically that means cooler than average temperatures, although because it's a weak one, it might be just a little bit cooler than average or near normal. But normal in Lloydminster is pretty cold in January and in February, and it does look like we'll probably see at least a few extreme cold warnings where those wind chills go into the -40s.
Well, let's just hope we get a little bit of snow for Christmas, and hopefully the weather stays okay. Thanks for taking the time to do this today, Peter.
Thanks for having me, Jackson.
Abby St. John is back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for our weekly edition of Pet Project.
I'm back at Border Paws Animal Shelter for our weekly edition of Pet Project, and we're shaking it up just a little bit. Every once in a while we get a different animal than just a cat or a dog, and today we have an adorable little bunny rabbit named Nibbles. He is absolutely adorable. Tell me about his story, what his personality is like, and what the best fit for him is.
Nibbles is a little escape artist. Nibbles came to us back in July, the end of July, as a public intake because they had found him in a ditch with his cage all broken up. So it does appear that he was carelessly just dumped there, which is quite unfortunate, but thankfully enough made it to us where he's been living his best life until he gets adopted. He's very sweet. He's about almost a year and a half. He's an adult dwarf rabbit, so he's not going to get much bigger than he is now. He loves to nibble. He's a big fan of carrots, go figure, and his leafy greens. Can't get enough of his leafy greens. But he figured out how to jump up on top of his, and sometimes he'll just cruise around, and he really likes the cat trees. So I feel like he finds his own fun. But he's a very sweet bunny. You can pet him and stuff. He's not a huge fan of being picked up.
Which most rabbits usually don't like it. I had a dwarf rabbit exactly like him, and she didn't really like to be picked up either, but she liked to come to you.
Yeah.
So I feel like that would be a similar case with Nibbles.
Yeah, and it's a big thing is with some bunnies, they if you do pick him up, he kind of, I don't know what the word for it is, but he'll struggle a bit. And if that's the case, you obviously don't pick him up because a bunny can actually break their back.
Yes.
By doing that. So I recommend Nibbles for a home with older kids who know boundaries and limits, because it's not a good idea. You can pick him and pick him up and pet him and everything like that, just not picking up, right?
Yeah.
But he is a sweet little thing.
Honestly, rabbits do make incredible pets, and he is absolutely the sweetest, and I know mine was as well. So they do make fantastic pets. Now, is he okay with, I know he's in the cat room and they're all kenneled, but how is he with cats, and is he okay with dogs as well, if you know that?
A little wary of the dogs, because they're all
bigger,
and they're a little bit too curious sometimes because they haven't really seen a bunny. He doesn't seem bothered by the cats at all, just kind of does his own thing.
Maybe take some time to warm up to each other, and they could live together but separately as well.
Yeah, there are lots of people who have buddies and cats in the same household, so it is possible for sure. And he's litter trained. He uses litter box.
Yes. That is another thing that when I got a bunny, I learned that they can be litter trained very easily too. They're quite intelligent animals, so they'll definitely, like we said earlier, they're easily trained, and they're just fun to have as pets, honestly, and they're a different kind of pet too.
And like me, he's very food motivated.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, this weekend, there is a Christmas craft show going on. We are getting into the holiday season. Stores are bringing out their Christmas and holiday decorations decorations, and you guys will be at this Christmas craft show or event. So tell me all the information that you have.
So we will have a booth at the Christmas Craft Fair this year. I believe we're at number 61. We are going to have critters there every day that we're there. I'm going to be there. There's going to be a couple other people there. So just come on down. You can get some information on our volunteering. We'll have probably some adoption paperwork if you're interested, info on the volunteering, all that good stuff. If you are interested in helping out, you can absolutely give us a call here at the shelter or email info@borderpaws.ca. We can get you all set up with anything that you need if you want to do stuff like the Christmas craft show with us. It's a lot of fun because you do get to kind of look around and see everything there too, which is great. And it's a really good event for the community. I love the craft show. I'm really big on the holidays. You saw me at Halloween. It's crazy. Imagine Christmas. Oh, it's fantastic.
And it's a great way to kick off the season too. Kind of the first bigger show, and craft events are so fun because you can find locally made stuff everywhere that is just as good, if not better, than what you find at big box stores. So it is a great way to get into the season and into the holiday spirit as well. And who knows, maybe you'll find some little cute ornaments or trinkets for your pets as well, as that is always super popular. I know my mom had a few of our ornaments for our dogs. So definitely something that you could find at a craft show, which is amazing. Now, donations. What are, same as question as every week, what are the current donation items that you are in need of?
So we will always need financial support for our sick and injured fund. That's a huge thing, especially with the winter months coming. We do usually have, unfortunately, animals coming in with frostbite and different avoidable injuries. But when those come in, and we do really need the help with it. So if it's something you're interested in helping us out with, you can absolutely donate in person at the shelter. We do take cash or debit. There's also a e-transfer. You can e-transfer finance@borderpaws.ca, and 100% of that money goes right back to the medical care for these animals, because unfortunately winter's pretty tough for shelters everywhere.
Yeah, not just you guys, but like you said, even the SPCAs and bigger cities are full as well. And this is just a huge time for, unfortunately, for those, especially after Christmas too. It does ramp up for sure. Well, thank you again for joining me. And Nibbles was just doing his thing, being his cute, adorable self.
Just unbothered.
Yes, he will for sure make a great addition to any household. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Now let's take a look at your pets of the day. That's all the time we have today for Primetime Local News. Thanks for watching.